Good evening, everyone. Thanks for those of you who have joined in person as well as those online. We'd like to reconvene the Thursday, June 10th, 2021 meeting of the Lake Forest Board of Education. As always, would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As a reminder, our session is being recorded, and both it and the minutes will be made available online. We'll start this evening with roll call of board members. Mrs. McCloskey.
Here.
Mrs. Starkey.
Here.
Mr. Thomas.
Here.
And President Earl Dempsey, serving as chair, is here. We have Vice President Rao is absent this evening, preparing for his upcoming wedding. So we have 4 board members present. Thank you all for being here. Move to 2.4, approval of agenda. Mr. Thomas.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2.4 as presented.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
2.5, approval of minutes. I make a motion to approve resolution 2.5 as presented.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion carries 3-0 with 1 abstention. Item 2.6, recognition and recognition presentations. We have one on for this evening. We don't have many of the track team here at the moment, so I think we're going to put this off just slightly so that a few more are able to join. Thanks for those of you who are here now. We'll circle back shortly. Moving on to 2.7, citizens participation. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the board. For anyone online, we'd ask you to notify superintendent's office ahead of time. And those in person, we do have a public comment sheet to sign up for. We do have one this evening, Mrs. Crystal Silver. Ms. Silver, if you would join us up front to address the board. And we do remind our speakers for a 3-minute, we limit everyone to 3 minutes. So, Mrs. Silver, welcome.
Hello. I want to start by thanking teachers. I know there aren't many in here, but the teachers in this district have worked their tails off this year. They've gone above and beyond, putting missing assignments every day. I know it's a lot, but they have gone above and beyond. So what I'm getting ready to say is not to teachers at all. And I do want to also thank Central Elementary, because this has been my youngest, best year ever in this district. Even with COVID, he did not want school year to end. He was very upset last week that it's coming to a close. They've gone above and beyond this year for him. He's had a phenomenal year, all around. At the beginning of the school year, quite a few of us parents were in here. In the board meeting, we sent messages, we talked to admin here at the high school, very concerned about the 45-minute schedule and that curriculum was not going to get gone through in certain classes. We were told from the get-go the curriculum is going to be adjusted. We promise you, they're going to get through the curriculum. We're going to do everything we can for these kids. And I'm hearing through the grapevine, not even through administration, we hear through the grapevine that our kids in Algebra 2 here at the high school who passed the entire year didn't get through the curriculum and now can't take pre-calculus next year. Unacceptable in every way, shape, and form. Okay, I work in a school district. We're 2 units beyond where we've ever been. They don't have assemblies. They don't have field trips. There is no reason the curriculum should have been gone through. And the fact that the semesters here at the high school are 2, when you realize after the first semester, they didn't get through the curriculum, why as a district did you as administrators not change it so the next group of kids that went through didn't also fall behind? You let 2 rounds of kids go through a curriculum and didn't get through it. So my kid is now a year behind because you're not offering pre-cal next year. I reached out to administration here, talked to her for over an hour 2 weeks ago, how disgusted I was. If I transferred my kid to any other district in the state, he passed Algebra 2, he'd be in pre-cal next year. I could transfer him to Woodbridge, he could go there 2 weeks. He's gonna come back here. Where's pre-cal gonna be? You'd have to take it because I'm choosing him there and I live here. So you have to offer the class. It's not right. The kids didn't do anything wrong here. The teachers didn't do anything wrong here. The higher ups dropped the ball, and our kids should not suffer for it. Pre-cal should be offered next year. You need to do what you need to do the first couple weeks to get them caught up and run with it and adjust it. And now we're hearing through the grapevine again that there's going to be an advancement test to see if they can go in a couple weeks. Okay, people have vacations. Not all kids in this district have transportation to get here. You are cutting out a lot of kids, and it's not right for their academics. It's wrong in every way, shape, and form. Y'all drop the ball. Good job.
All right, Ms. Silver, thank you very much for being here. I know administration is aware of the concerns and is all over. Thank you, ma'am. I believe that is it for this evening. Ms. Piccolo, confirmation? All right, thank you. The board will open back up at our next meeting in 2 weeks for public comment as well. We're on to section 3 reports. We'll start with 3.1 financial report. Mr. Kurt Keller. Welcome, Mr. Keller.
Good evening. Thank you. This will be the monthly board financial report for data as of the end of May. So this will be, we just have 1 more month left in the fiscal year. This will be the last one presented for this fiscal year. For the revenue side of the report on the state portion, the state did load the additional salary funds up in the top box there. So that's really the only change from the state funds portion. Down on the local side, I've basically taken out all the anticipated receipts, although we do have 1 more property tax deposit to record along with our senior property tax credit. But it'll be fairly small in nature. But we already have exceeded our targets there in terms of the local tax receipts. And on the federal fund side, we've already seen all the adjustments made there. So I've eliminated all the anticipated receipts as well. If you happen to have printed this revenue report prior to maybe a couple hours ago, the only change you'll see is I just uploaded it on the web, so it's the correct one that's on there now. The total discretionary funds received, there was an error in the calculation, but now it picks up that one-time enrollment funding. So any questions with the revenue report?
Questions on revenue? I have one, Mr. Tillman. So what we're looking at here, let me phrase this way. The budget number, is that the total 50,820,000? Is that what we started out the year budgeting, or that's with changes through the year so that it's an accurate number today?
So that budgeted number you see down there at 50.8 million, that's basically the final adjusted budget that was approved back in January.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So so out of that 50,800,000, we've received 49,660,000.
Correct.
And the anticipated, if I were to do those, add those 2 up, it exceeds 49.6 plus 1.4. No, it matches.
Correct.
Okay, so we anticipate.
No, because the anticipated receipts will be off. So even though I have anticipated receipts up there of 1.3 million for the state salaries, we might not see all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to gauge best guess, best estimate with a few more weeks or 1 more month to go. of that 50,800,000, where do we anticipate actually finishing? At, slightly below, slightly above?
I would say we would finish probably pretty darn close, probably a little bit below, because that number is a little bit inflated with that state formula salaries number of 26.4 million. So because that's such a large number, it affects all the numbers at the bottom there.
Okay.
And really, I don't want to call it an insignificant number because it's very significant. It's the state share of all of our Division I salaries. But the reality is whatever the state pays, they will pay. So if we come up short in that area, the state will make up the difference. So,
But as far as local funds go, which certainly matters to us, I'll say the most in some respects, we will actually end up 102% from where we had budgeted in January, final budget.
correct. And from the discretionary fund standpoint, that's probably
Yes.
the most important. Sure. So we're already at 101% as of, with 1 month
yes.
left in the year. Yep, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Sorry for that long-winded question. Ms. McCloskey.
When we're looking at the operating unit, and obviously this year we have a lot of percent remaining in many categories. So how does that work? Or is our budget still going to be the same amount for next year? And then with the extra percent, is it used, does that get on top of that, or does that get put somewhere else? Or will that just adjust the budget amount for next year?
Now, are you referring to the expenditure portion?
Yeah, so I'm looking at just looking at the revenue report of what's budgeted, so like,
Which
so like
page?
what's
Jordan,
that?
which page are you looking at?
I'm looking at the next to last page.
Okay. So yes, Mr. Kellerman, to your question, the expenses.
Yeah, so like if, so like legal services, if you had 65% of the budget left still, because we didn't need that much, or you're looking at, aquatics at 70%. So like next year, will their budget still be the same? And then what happens to anything that budget's been left or that hasn't been used this fiscal year?
So I'll start with your second question first, because whatever we don't expend out of that budget is either it's reducing what we've projected as a deficit, or it's increasing the surplus, which would affect our district reserve.
Okay, so it doesn't stay in the category per se, it might just go in the district reserve, go into the district.
Correct. So if a
Okay.
particular cost center does not use up all their funds from the discretionary budget, then those funds then they would get a new budget next year, but those funds are now become part of the district reserve.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then in terms of actually budgeting for each cost category, we review those each year and we go down the entire list to see where we can make changes.
Right.
Tighten the tolerances on the budgets and so forth. So as we move forward, we get tighter and tighter tolerances on each cost center. You might see one cost center, go over a year, a few of them go over a year, but then it gets us closer and closer to getting to, more like a balanced budget.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Kellerman.
Okay.
Expenses.
Then moving on to the expenditure side for the discretionary expenses. Really the only things to highlight, we do have our final SRO payment that was documented there. So we did save a little bit of money with the school closure in December, but not much. Local salaries will come in a little bit under what we had anticipated. And that's only because we were provided that 99% one-time enrollment funding from the state. So we were able to push some local salary expenses onto that. As far as other categories where you might see a large amount of budget remaining, I'll highlight the curriculum budget because we still have about another 50,000 that was recently put on purchase orders. So you'll see that number decrease in terms of budget available or budget remaining for the final June 30th board report. Then moving on to the second page in terms of the non-discretionary, the only other thing I would highlight is the tuition payment section. We have about another $300,000 worth of tuition payments still to record but we will still come in under budget on that section as well. And then we're in good shape on our federal consolidated grant funds. So all funds budget, we have 18% remaining compared to 12% remaining last year. But more importantly, from a discretionary, we have 13% remaining compared to 11% last year. Any questions with the expenditure side?
Any questions on this part for Mr. Fellman? Any questions overall for Mr. Fellman? Did you have anything else for us?
No, hopefully next meeting, we'll go ahead and go over the local tax rates.
Yes.
And get those finalized.
Okay, that's great. Monday night, so I know it's publicly noticed, but just an opportunity to address here as well. Could you explain what Monday night's meeting is going to be for?
So
Monday
my
night is a board
understanding,
workshop.
yeah, my understanding of Monday night will be to review some of the potential projects that will be available to do from a capital project improvement standpoint. So that when we go out and apply for the certificate of necessity with the Department of Education, we will come up with kind of a prioritized list of what we want to move forward in terms of capital projects, with the main primary projects being these roof replacements at some key locations. Those being, I think some of it's at the high school here, Chipman, North and East Elementary. So those are the major projects that we're focusing on, and that's the whole purpose of the certificate of necessity, to try to go forward to get some to get the capital improvement funds. But there's going to be some other projects that we will also entertain and look at in terms of across the district from each of the schools, depending on what was submitted. And so it's an opportunity then to look at those other projects and see what we want to move forward with.
Great, thank you. Any last questions for Mr. Kelly? All right, thank you, Mr. Kelly.
All right, you're welcome.
Yep, that'd be great. All right, so I think we will deviate back from the agenda, go back to item 2.6, recognitions and presentations. I know we have Mr. Johnson and the track team here. I'll turn it over to Dr. Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Can I get the high school staff to come on forward, and can I get all the track athletes, men and women, to come on forward? And we'll get the coach to introduce everybody. Come on, don't be shy.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, coaches.
Want me to introduce everybody?
Well, I tell you what, I think what we can do, why don't we have all the kids, students, introduce themselves.
There you go.
All right, so we got our men's state champions right here. Let's give a round of applause to them. Congratulations. And then our women are here, and several of them are state champions as well. So, and we have teams.
I'll let them introduce themselves. So just in order as you stand, just introduce yourself. And you can tell them what event you do for the school. All right, good.
Go ahead.
My name is Sky Rivera. I did long jump, triple jump, and I did 4x1.
All right, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. My name is Ron Puravana. I did 110 hurdles, 300 meter hurdles, and 4x4.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I'm Bergen Thomas. I do shot put and disc.
Awesome.
My name
Congratulations.
My name is Earl Downing. I do a high jump, 400, and the 4x4.
All right.
And state champ, Earl was state champion. I'm Jalen Morris. I did the 4x1, 4x2, 300 hurdles, 10 hurdles.
And Jalen was also state champion in both the hurdles. Overall, #1 in the whole state in the 110 hurdles, and part of the 4x1, 4x2 state championship relay.
I hear that you had no idea what you were getting into when Coach said do hurdles, right?
No, I didn't.
All right, 300 hurdles is no joke.
No.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm Jameer Marable. I was shot put and disc.
All right, Jameer, congratulations.
My name is Michael Brown. I did long jump, high jump, 4x1.
All right, congratulations.
And Mike was on the state championship 4x1, 4x2 team. He was runner up the Earl in the high jump, and then he was state champion in the long jump. So, Mike.
All right. Four, right? Four state championships. He's on 4 different.
My name is Smith. I did 4x1, 4x2, long jump, and 4x100.
All right, congratulations.
Kendall was runner-up state champ to Mike in the long jump, and Kendall was on the 4x1, 4x2 state championship relay team.
My name is Aiden Gary. I did 800 and 4x8.
All right, congratulations.
Forgot, and I did the 3,200 and 1,600 meters.
Congratulations.
Ernest Brown. I ran the 1,600 and 800 and 4x8.
All right, congratulations.
Jackson Massey, I did the 1,600 meter and the 3,200 meter run.
Congratulations.
Cameron Coward. I did the 4x8 and the 1,600.
All right, congratulations.
Michelle Markland, I did the 4x4, 4x2, 4x1, and 4x8.
Congratulations.
Michelle was on the 4x200 state championship relay team for the girls.
My name is Sierra Young. I did the 400, 100, 200, and 4x200.
Yes, yes.
And Sierra was state champion in the 100, the 200, the 400, and the 4x200.
My name is Kirsten Hickman, and I did shot put distance.
All right, Kirsten.
Top 3 in the state in the shot put and the distance this year as a freshman.
Congratulations. More state championships.
This is, did you guys introduce yourself? Coach Markland, assistant track coach. Coach coaches the sprinters, jumpers. He works with me. We work on the relays, the sprints, and the jumps. He coaches a little bit of everything.
Coach Payne, I do all the distance runners.
Coach does the
Thanks,
distance
Coach.
runners and
Coach Copio, shot put and discus.
All right. Well, congratulations, everybody. It's an amazing accomplishment, and we appreciate you being here. We really wanted the opportunity. Real quick, Sierra, 4 state championships, 100, 200, 400, and relay, 4x2. Jessica's not here. Is Paris here?
no, Paris is not here tonight.
Kirja? Let's see, discus and shot put, runner up. Joseph, is Josephine here?
No, Josephine's not here.
Who did I miss? All right. And then Jalen, state champ, 100, 110, 300, 4x1. Earl won the high jump. Mike Brown, long jump, 4x1, 4x2. And he was the runner up in the high jump. Kendall, 4x1, 4x2, long jump. Damien, 4x1, 4x2, triple jump. Is it Shamel?
Chanel.
Yeah, let's see, 4x2 and triple jump, runner up. Declan, pole vault, and Johnson, pole vault, and Declan Johnson are here.
No, they're not here.
All right, well, great job, congratulations. Dempsey?
Yeah, congratulations, everybody. Great job. Couldn't be more proud of you all. Keep it up.
Absolutely, yeah. And we have a young team, right, Coach?
Yeah, we're
All right.
using 3 seniors from the boys and 1 senior from the girls. So looking forward to next year. Should be a really good year for both boys and girls.
All right, next man up, right?
There you go.
All right, thank you, everybody, congratulations. Coach Johnson, I'll get some certificates to you. We didn't have every certificate ready, but I'll get them to you so you can get them out to the kids.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, we'll continue on. Excuse me. Item 3.2, Board President Report. Just a couple things. Tomorrow is officially last day of school. So whether we thought we would or not, we all made it. So congratulations to everybody for making it through this year. Teachers, staff, students, parents, families, community. We all made it to this side of things. And hope everyone has a fantastic summer and that, we're ready to come back next year with a much, much more traditional, normal year that we've been accustomed to. Also wanted to once again congratulate the Lake Forest High School graduating class of 2021. And thank you again to the high school administration and staff who did a phenomenal job with graduation ceremony Friday night, especially given the fact that conditions changed and what we were allowed to do or able to do changed at the last minute, and we were able to adapt. So thanks to everyone. That's all I have. Any questions for me? All right, so 3.3 Superintendent Report, Dr. Lucas.
Good evening, everybody, again. Thank you for being here. And I just want to congratulate the track team. At the beginning of the year, when I saw Coach Johnson out there with his team, I asked him how many athletes he had, and I said, man, he's going to have a tough year. He just doesn't have that many kids, but he really showed what a few good Spartans can do because despite his low numbers, they were able to win the state championship. So kudos to them. They did a great job. And same thing, kudos to Ms. Dupras is here, as well as Mr. Weller, and all the folks that pitched in with graduation. It was absolutely amazing. The weather was perfect, and congratulations to all our graduates who are ready to take on the world. We actually made it to the finish line, as Mr. Dempsey said, and we've got our sights set on our next hurdle, which is our learning recovery plan and getting students back in school face-to-face just as soon as possible. I'll detail our return to school plan a little bit later in this evening. A couple calendar reminders. Tomorrow is the last day of school, as Mr. Dempsey mentioned. It is attendance day. We will be taking attendance, and it is a full day of school. Final report cards will be mailed home, and they will be available in the Home Access Center around June 22nd. We are starting summer school for our high school students on June 21st. Students will have a chance to recover some credits and make up for some of the time that they lost over the school year. High school students who have not been contacted about participating and think they need to participate should reach out to their school counselor or school administration. Finally, we are well into strategic planning. We had our second meeting last night, and we encourage community members to attend. It's not too late to join. Just head to our website, click on Uncle Sam, and sign up. I'll send you an invite to the next meeting, which is next Wednesday, June 16th. So far, we have about 50 people on our team, but we can always use more input. And everybody's welcome, so pass it on. If you want to get a student on there, we can get students involved as well. Community members, staff members, parents. We'd love to have you on the team. And that's all I have. Mr. Dempsey, I'll yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Any questions for Dr. Lucas, the superintendent report? All right, thank you, Dr. Lucas. Move on to 3.4 LFEA report. We have Ms. Heather Kraus joining us this evening. Welcome, Ms. Kraus.
First, we'd like to congratulate our two very deserving seniors, Mackenzie Miller and Caleb Murphy, our LFEA Memorial Scholarship winners this year. And thanks to everyone who continued to support this scholarship. Our second thing, we'd like to congratulate Luis Woodward and the Sylvester family. They were awarded the LFEA Friend of Education Award this year. Ms. Woodward spent many years supporting the staff of Lake Forest School District and the community in her work at the IRC. The Sylvester family have worked with the Lake Forest FFA program. Lake Forest graduate Jackson Sylvester began a lease program to allow Lake Forest FFA members to learn about, work with, and show dairy cows at local and county and the Delaware State Fair. LFEA recognizes both for their commitment to the Lake Forest School District. And last, LFEA officers, reps are looking forward to our final town hall meeting with Dr. Lucas this school year, scheduled for Monday, June 14th. And we look forward to holding these in the future as well. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Ms. Kraus? All right, Ms. Kraus, thank you very much for being here. Have a great summer. All right, we're on to section 5, discussion items, 5.1, 2020 and 2021 return to school. Dr. Lucas.
Thank you, President Dempsey. Obviously, we can't say enough to thank our staff and students for an exceptional year, despite all the challenges that we've talked about, every 2 weeks this year here in this forum. They performed admirably, and we do have a lot of learning to show for this investment. And our attention is now turned to learning recovery and getting back to school face-to-face. So let me start with that. Learning recovery and summer school options. Many students at the secondary level are going to have opportunities to recover credit. That is going to start on June 21st, the first session. Second session will begin July 13th, and high school students will have a chance to recover up to 4 credits. They have to attend full-time, and attendance is critical because there are very few days. So they can't miss any days. They've got to be at all of the sessions to recover their credit. Our awesome academic specialists, led by our Chief Academic Officer, Mr. Dick, have created the Lake Forest Summer Learning Academy. And this is going to be an array of online ELA and math learning options, which will be available to all students at all grade levels. And students who participate will be eligible for some awesome prizes. I mean, they have some really cool prizes available for students who do some reading and math this summer. We're also coordinating some one-on-one tutoring through a company called Back to Basics, and principals will be reaching out to students if they've been identified as needing this intervention. Finally, I want to reiterate, we expect to be 100% face-to-face in the fall, beginning in August. So I encourage everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, and consider getting a vaccination. And that's all I have. I'll yield back to Mr. Dempsey for any questions or board comments.
Any questions for Dr. Lucas regarding return to school? All right, thank you again, Dr. Lucas. Okay, we are on to some action items beginning with section 7. Mr. Thomas.
Section 7, amendment from the commission to approve resolution 7.1 as written.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
9, personnel resignations. I make a motion to approve resolution 9.1 and 9.2 as written.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 11, staying in personnel, rescind. I make a motion to approve resolution 11.1 as written.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 12, personnel transfers. I make a motion to approve resolution 12.1 through 12.8 as written.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 13, personnel, offers of employment. I make a motion to approve resolution 13.1 through 13.10 as written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 14, personnel rehires. I make a motion to approve resolution 14.1 through 14.8 as written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Down to section 21, memorandum of understanding. I make a motion to approve resolution 21.1 as written.
Second.
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? I would just like to say it has been an interesting year. It has been a tough year, and the board and administration have agreed with LFEA to put this in place as a bit of a thank you to everyone in the district for this past year and their efforts. So you are definitely appreciated, and we really hope you have a great summer. Seeing nothing else, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 22, other business. Make a motion to approve 22.1 school choice as written.
Second?
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0.
Section 24, other business, financial report. I make a motion to approve resolution 24.1 financial report as presented.
Second?
A motion on the floor properly seconded. Any questions on financial report as presented? Seeing none, move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mrs. Starkey. We're on to section 26, board report and discussion items. 26.1, Delaware School Board Association. Mrs. Starkey.
Yeah, just a couple of reminders. The board member boot camp is July 10th from 9 to 4. So if you're interested in participating in that, we can just RSVP for that. And then the DSBA meeting and picnic, the annual picnic at Dr. Marinucci's is August 14th, and they need an RSVP by July 31st if anybody wants to attend that.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Starkey. Any questions for Mrs. Starkey? All right, we are on to 26.2, Legislative Committee. Mr. Rao is not here. I don't know if anyone else, we did have minutes that were there. Anyone have any questions or comments or discussion on Legislative Committee? All right, 26.3, ECAP Policy Council. We'll look to Mrs. Starkey.
Nothing new to report back.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions for ECAP Policy Council? All right, 26.4, go to the order. Opportunity for board members to bring up any topics not covered elsewhere in the agenda. Floor is open. Anyone? Mrs. Starkey.
Just a couple of just shout outs to our high school administration. Again, we already said graduation. Senior awards was fantastic. Again, a little bit of normalcy. And then today, it was great to celebrate the little Spartans graduation and to see people and their faces and all those little Spartans. So just really thankful for some of these things coming back onto the calendar.
Great. Thank you, Mrs. Starkey. Mr. Thomas.
I received a lot of feedback from the graduation. I want to thank Ms. Dupris, the administration here at the high school, everyone involved. It was really nice to see faces again, to see everyone together, everyone smiling, and we really thank you for that. And also, I just want to thank everyone. It's been a trying year for everyone, parents, students, administration. Dr. Lucas as being a first-year superintendent, we thank you, and thank everyone for what they've done, and enjoy your summer.
All right, I do not believe we have a need for executive session. So I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second?
A motion floor properly seconded for adjournment. Any questions or discussion on that motion? I will just say that we are back Monday or
No, Monday we're in the boardroom.
Okay, so Monday the 14th, 6 p.m. we will be across the parking lot at the district office in the boardroom for a workshop. And we'll be back here 2 weeks, Thursday, June 24th, here in the auditorium at 7 p.m. For our next regularly scheduled session. So with that said, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 4-0. Board stands adjourned at 7:40 p.m. Thank you all very much. Have a great summer. Stay safe.